Hello and welcome to the TCF Morning Show. It is Friday, August 6th, and this morning I am joined by Boomy at Boomy TCF and Matt Schoolfield at schools_01 on Twitter. I am Zach Lilia at Z Lilia TCF. The main page is at typical_Chicago. And this morning we'll be talking about where we think the Bulls fare in the East after what the moves they made in free agency. And then we'll get into all of the NBA free agency. It's been a while, been a lot of money thrown around. And then we'll get into the USA men's basketball in the gold medal game against France, the team that they most recently lost to. And I know Maddie's ready for this one. We're going to talk a little Justin Fields. Apparently, he's having a great training camp. You'd love to hear that.
I know Boomy's ready for that too, baby.
Oh yeah, the Cubs and White Sox talk. Unfortunately, we'll talk about the Cubs. It's been rough lately, and then we'll end the show like we always do with Boomy's Wacky Web Story. If you want to follow us on Facebook or Instagram, type in Typical Chicago Fans. You will find us on there. Go over to YouTube, type in Typical Chicago Fans. Subscribe to the YouTube page. Morning shows, podcasts, interviews that we've done, food reviews. All that is on the YouTube page. And then wherever you get your podcast from, type in Typical Chicago Fans. You will find us on there. If it's Apple, please subscribe, rate, and review. Shout out to 26shirts.com. Chicago Boomy's got the shirt on. I've got a shirt on right here. QB1, Justin Fields. We all know that. If you want a shirt just like this, go over to 26shirts.com. Chicago. Use the promo code Typical Chicago Fans at checkout for 15% off of your purchase. Again, that is Typical Chicago Fans at checkout for 15% off of your purchase at 26shirts.com. Chicago. Also, shout out to Connect Roasters. Go over to connectroasters.com. My mother most recently got some of the pods from there, the K cups, I think is what they call them, and she loves it. It's the home run. It's the quarantine coffee. It's just the beans broke down, put in a little pod. She loves it. If you want coffee just like that, they got merch too. Go over to connectroasters.com. Follow them on all social medias. Fellas, how are we doing? We got a weekend up here coming up that me and Boomy are going to be a little busy with some golf. How are we feeling, Boomy?
Feeling great, man. Other than the Cubs, everything's pretty solid. The weather's been nice, a lot of golf. The NFL is right around the corner, and as soon as we'll see the Bulls that we're going to talk about here in a minute hit the hardwood. So things are great, man. A lot of, like you said, a lot of golf this weekend, so you can never go wrong with too much golf. So
you can't go wrong with some golf. Just a weekend full of golf. We got as many weekends as we can around here. You never know when the weather will quickly
it might
change.
snow in 6 weeks. So who knows?
Yeah. Who knows? Maddie, how we doing?
Not as well as you guys living your Peter Pan lives and shit, fucking golfing and running amok, running out to Colorado.
Hey, Maddie, if it makes you feel
doing
better,
this,
it's supposed
doing
to be
that.
very hot. It's supposed to be very
I
hot.
know. I'm so jealous. You're gonna drink like 300 beers on the golf course while you're playing golf all weekend. My bad.
It won't even be fun.
I'm sure the steaks that you get to grill afterwards are gonna really suck too. So here's my weekend, boys. It's the middle of bathroom renovation season when you live in my house, okay, guys? So we got bathroom renovations going on. We're picking out flooring, we're picking out vanities, we're picking out lights, we're picking out trim, we're picking out faucets, we're picking out lights, we're picking out mirrors, we're picking out paint colors, dude. It's right out of Home Depot, right out of the playbook from Will Ferrell and Old School, however you want to draw it up. I have the prototypical suburban dad weekend ahead of me. While you guys are,
picking between a pitching wedge or a 9-iron.
Yeah, I'm picking between aisle 9 or aisle 10.
Yeah, a little different.
Hey, on the podcast, we'll have an update of who had the better weekend.
Let me tell you guys, it's great. It's great. I get to spend a bunch of fucking money, and you guys get to have fun. So awesome.
Hey, we'll also be spending a bunch of money.
Yeah,
so don't worry about that.
It's gonna be a sweet weekend of golf, that's for sure.
But let's get into the first subject. It is the Bulls. Before we get into the free agency talk, Summer League right around the corner. I think it's next week it starts. The roster is going to be pretty fun. It's got AO. They got Dotson. They got Patrick Williams. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I actually think that the first couple games of Summer League start this weekend, but I don't think the Bulls start till early next week. It'll be one of those things where you get to see a couple, like Patrick Williams, figures to be at least competing for a starting job. AO, obviously, we talked about a lot last week, being a first-round talent taken in the second round, and kind of get to see the progression that he's made since college, and Dotson's been kind of up and down with between the Bulls and the Windy City Bulls. So no, it's always exciting because usually you get this kind of stuff in like July, and we're getting it now. So it is what it is.
The Euro they're bringing over isn't playing, correct? He's not playing in the Summer League, is he?
I believe you're correct. And Jimmer's playing in the Summer League for the Nuggets or the Jazz, one of the two.
That's fun.
I'm interested to see what that guy brings to the table. It could be a nice little depth piece right off the bat.
He scored like 70 plus points a game or in multiple games over in China. So it'll be different to see like when he left the Bulls to where he's at now. So yeah, Summer League right around the corner, man. It's definitely interesting.
But the Bulls are making some moves this free agency. Gotta love this new front office. We got DeMar DeRozan in a sign and trade. Gave up some picks. I don't think they have any first round picks for the next few years. However you feel about that, it's just another move.
The idea is you're going to be.
I think it's
you're
decent.
going to be good. You're going to be picking in the 20s. That's the plan. So
yeah,
you're figuring you're not
very
giving
true,
up
very true.
high-end picks. That's the hope.
They get the Alex Caruso, and then they also get Lonzo Ball, which I am very excited about. I'm excited about all the signings, just in the fact that people are wanting to play for the Bulls. They're wanting to sign as free agents and play with the Bulls, and that's just something we haven't been used to with the Gar and Pax front office moves.
Well, I gotta ask. I mean, like, you look at this roster, and it's what we'll say 100% better than what it was last year. At the end of the day, what you've brought in is you've got experience, you've got high-end talent, you've got scoring, you've got defense. You really have what you would assemble as what you'd hope is a really balanced team, as much as anything. Where does that put you guys in the East, in your opinion? Like, I don't think they're the Nets. I don't think they're the Bucks. But from there,
I think they can compete for a fifth or fourth spot, somewhere around there. Third.
I don't think the 3 is out of question, personally.
No, because you're right. It's going to be the Nets and the Bucks, 1 or 2,
right?
And then maybe they can compete for 3, 4, 5.
I think realistically, 3 is where you top out. Like you said, Zach, I think the Nets and the Bucks are, obviously 1 and 2. But and I really like what Miami has put together in this last week.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you have to look at those moves compared to the moves the Bulls have made. I think you put the Bulls at best 3 and at worst 5. If things go to plan. Now, if everything kind of crumbles under the pressure, then yeah, you could be talking about a team that's striving for an 8th seed. But
looking at this roster right now, I think what you're saying is correct, Boomy.
Yeah, I truly think that this team is good enough to max out at, and maybe you even have a season from the Bucks, after a world title that maybe they're not, the second best team in the East. Maybe there's times because Giannis and Chris Middleton were playing till the end of July where they take a couple more games off.
You're spot on with that, Boomy. That late run is going to do damage to these teams that have deep playoff runs. That schedule crams it in. Look how much later the season finished. That month is going to matter big time. I can't. 100%. You're spot on for pointing that out.
I think I think best case scenario, you think 2 or 3. Worst case scenario, 5 or 6. And that's assuming, like you said, it's
going to be a dogfight in the East. So when you really look at it, the Knicks are going to be good.
The East is an absolute rock fight right now.
The Knicks, the Celtics, the Sixers. These are teams we didn't mention in any of this.
I think the Celtics are going to see a drastic fall off of what they have. Obviously, they have Jason Tatum. At the end of the day, I mean, he can go out there and give you 40 points a night, on a good run. But at the end of the day, will the Sixers have Ben Simmons?
I want to mention one other team we didn't mention, guys, and that was in the other Eastern Conference.
So many
Finals this year,
moving
the
pieces.
Hawks.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. You didn't even mention them. It's going to be a rock fight out there in the East.
And you got to figure Charlotte's going to be better. Like that's a team on the swing again with LaMelo.
It's exciting that the Bulls will be one of the teams that can hopefully compete in the East with the moves that they've made so far.
The fact this discussion is even happening shows you how far they've come.
But the fun part of it is they've got a great roster. I really like the makeup of that team.
There's players that are willing to come play for the Bulls now and trust this front office. And as a fan, that makes me feel amazing.
It's all you can want at this point with what we had before.
Oh, yeah. Yep. For sure. Boomy, do you have some of the other free agency moves going on in the NBA?
So to add on to the Bulls, they did sign backup big man. Oh, boy, I just lost it here. Tony Bradley, maybe I want to say. I can't remember.
Bradley, he's from Carolina.
I had mentioned last week that the Bulls, in order to, Tony Bradley, I'm sorry, 1-year deal with the Bulls. I thought in order to, be able to find a way to compete, they had to have some sort of backup man because I really don't want to see Cristiano Felicio as the backup man. And obviously, we talked a lot about, how, the makeup of this team is going to be guard heavy. And that's Billy Donovan has constructed a lot of rosters. So the fact that you're adding in a little bit of a backup man in the post because you traded away Thad Young. I don't hate Tony Bradley, especially on a 1-year deal. And the rumor is out there right now that Lauri Markkanen may be going to the Charlotte Hornets. So time to keep your eye on that.
Bradley's a really athletic big. He can run the floor as much as anything. He's a good defensive player too.
Absolutely. Speaking of free agency, though, a lot had happened in that first day. It seems like a lot more like ancillary players have kind of been added in the last couple of days.
A lot of guys went back to teams.
Yes, like you said, Julius Randle re-signs with the Knicks on a 4-year, $117 million.
I'm sorry, Boomy, but I'm thinking over the next few years as the salary cap keeps going higher and higher, more players are going to opt out and go back just so they can get like more money, more years, and
it's like the cap rises.
No.
The cap rises the percentage you can take up.
I think Chris Paul kind of did that.
Oh yeah, that's definitely why they take the shorter years of the player options and stuff.
Without a doubt, man. I think that you're going to see those splashes on the first day where guys are changing teams, but then as the days go on, you're going to see
dip your toes into the free agency water, see what you can get, and then it's going back home afterwards.
And then you call and say, "Hey, remember when you guys
the Lakers?"
The Lakers, the Lakers have the best team. If it was 2013, it's going to be
LeBron James. LeBron James is the longest 10-year player on that team, and I think he's been there 3 years.
Yeah.
Hey, in an up-tempo game with stressed on 3-point shooting, it's great to have slow, old, non-shooting people, isn't it?
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. But kind of the other big names, I think we had even mentioned Spencer Dinwiddie here on the podcast. Spencer Dinwiddie signs with the Wizards on a 3-year, $62 million deal. And actually, another name.
If you guys remember when
someone
Westbrook got traded,
Bradley Beal out of there.
No, when Westbrook got traded, he said he wanted to stay then.
Really?
Because that was a lot of money, on their salary cap, and he knew when if they got rid of him, then they could get some better players like a Spencer Dinwiddie.
Beal's a stud, dude. That guy's so good. He's so good.
Another name we have talked about, and we actually talked about his retirement earlier this season. LaMarcus Aldridge is considering a comeback to the NBA, despite the fact he will need medical clearance because of, I think it was maybe not a heart defect, but something along those lines, some health.
I think you're right. It was something with the heart, but it's another guy. Like the NBA game nowadays does not favor slow, big, non-shooting bigs. You know what I mean? Like if you're a post player, if you either got to be an outstanding defensive player or rebounder, or you got to be able to hit threes anymore. It's one or the other.
Absolutely. Like you said, with the Lakers, Melo signs with the Lakers, so LeBron and Melo finally together.
Dwight Howard,
the banana boat.
The banana boat, yeah. They just need
Trevor
D-Wade.
Ariza.
Yeah, if this was 2012, this team would be really, really good. So we'll see what the Lakers have to offer. And kind of like you said, Zach, guys re-signing. Enes Kanter signs with the Celtics. And then obviously one of the best players in the NBA, Luka Doncic, signs a extension with the Mavericks. I think that's a great
Kemba went to the
first
Knicks,
signing.
right?
Yes,
Yep.
Kemba to the
Yep.
Knicks. Nick Matt said earlier, they're competing. They signed an extension with Julius Randle. They bring Derrick Rose back, and they get Kemba Walker. If the Knicks can build off of the season that they had, they can see a lot of success this year. So it'll be interesting to see if the Knicks
The
are
NBA
truly
is going to be fun.
the
this
new
year.
Knicks or the
a
old
lot
Knicks.
of teams are going to be good.
Yep, I agree.
John Collins back to the Hawks. A lot of guys returning to their team.
I think
and
Trae Young re-signed a contract. It's extended.
Yeah. Yep. And it's crazy, we talk about trades, till we're blue in the face, but the fact that Trae Young and Luka Doncic were traded for each other, kind of wild how it worked out. I mean, I think Luka's a better player, but obviously the Hawks made it to the second round of the playoffs. So I think it kind of worked out for them as well.
Hey, Boomy, speaking of Luka Doncic, he lost to France.
I can't believe they lost.
Then they lost by 1 point. He had
Luka had a triple.
His third triple double of the tournament. It's his first international loss. He was 17-0 before this.
Wow.
Now 17-1. So France will play USA in the gold medal game. Like you said, France is their most recent loss. It was when they lost to France. Everyone kind of freaked out about it. But guess what? They're good enough to make it to the gold medal game. So they're a pretty good team. Honestly, I think this is going to be a really good game.
I think it's going to be close for about 3 quarters. I truly think that the United States
Kevin Durant playing unreal.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I think that what happened, and I don't know if you guys would agree with me, it felt like they treated the exhibition games like they were an exhibition and then some. Yeah, but like even lower than an exhibition game, like almost like a practice. Because it literally felt like they played hard for a half.
In October.
Oh, dude, it was.
Well, and they had players coming in from the NBA Finals, and they finally got settled in as a team. So I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win pretty easily.
Yeah.
I hope they win pretty easily. I want a gold medal for the USA men's basketball team again.
Nicholas Batum is having a very good Olympics. Evan Fournier is having a very good Olympics. But think about those 2 names I just said.
Rudy Gobert.
Those aren't guys you're going to see on an NBA All-Star team. They're solid players, but they're not Kevin Durant. They're not Draymond Green. I do
not want to see Rudy Gobert win a gold medal over USA.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, Zach, me and you talked about this, how many guys are missing from this Team USA? Steph Curry, LeBron, Anthony Davis. I mean, you could go down the list, and I think this team is still good enough to win the to win the Olympic gold medal. I think I think they're going to be okay.
Yeah, hopefully. Do you guys have any idea when this game is?
I believe it is Saturday morning at 1:30 a.m. maybe.
That sounds right. I can look.
Because I woke up this morning and it was USA men's basketball in the gold medal game. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's
checking right now.
It's it looks like yeah, we're gonna have to cut this out.
I'm not.
This is our research team. Boomy and Matt. Who will get it first? Who will get the information first?
Okay, the USA will play in the gold medal game on Friday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern time. So
it's 9:30 our time. Prime time, basically, for the Olympics.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I love that.
Well, that's like breakfast there, isn't it?
Yeah, that'd be a very and it's kind of weird because the bronze game is before that, so I don't know how that time zone translation, but yeah, it's definitely not an easy time in Japan. But yeah, if you stay up just a little bit on Friday night, hopefully catch the USA win a gold.
Let's hope so. let's get into some fun news with the Chicago sports. Justin Fields at training camp, people say he's looking good. Um, it, it, I'm just excited for everything that comes with Justin Fields. And if you're a Bears fan, you should, because we're lucky that this guy is on the team, honestly. I think he should have been drafted higher than the Bears got him. So I'm excited for his first start, in the preseason game, which is next week and stuff. I think it's next Saturday. So, because we had our first NFL preseason game tonight with the Cowboys and the Steelers in the Hall of Fame game. Maddie, what are
Steelers
your
winning.
thoughts?
I am pumped as you could be. I'm all in. Chips pushed in.
Give me every video
this is our new
from
Sid
training camp.
Luckman. This is our new this is our everything. I'm 1,000% behind Justin Fields. Let's get him on the field. If he's the better quarterback, let's not dick around. Just do it. It's no point. If he's the better player, just go. I don't know, but obviously I'm not watching the practices and things like that. So
And
whatever.
I've heard good news on and off the field, and that's good to hear about.
Well, it sounds like
a
he works
quarterback
his ass off, and that's all you can ask for right now.
Yeah,
he
that's all you
hasn't
can
been on the
ask for. And
field,
I
so
understand whatever can happen this season, but for right now, I'm excited about it, and there's no reason if you're a Bears fan not to be excited about it.
yeah, for sure. It's one of those things where it's like you get one of those players that at most points of last season it was Lawrence 1, and a lot of people said Fields 2 right off the bat, and he had a rough couple weeks after he got hurt late in the season. Probably didn't play as well as you'd hope in the Big Ten title game, and all of a sudden the guy's like not going to be a good pro prospect, and Zach Wilson passes him up, and Trey Lance passes him up, and all these other quarterbacks pass him up, and it's like, fine, I'll take the guy that everybody else in the world thought was good 3 months ago, and now all of a sudden stinks. And hey, like I said, he works his ass off. It's by all accounts, he's putting in the work.
The kid was running hills after practice today.
Yeah, yes, he's one of those guys that likes to do the TikTok and Instagram and stuff, and don't want to show it off. And it's not like he's alone in that. Yeah, that's the new wave of athlete. That's what they do. You look at what the college athletes are doing; they're making a killing doing that kind of stuff on TikTok and Instagram. So you might as well. God bless him. But hey, just keep working. That's all I want, and just keep getting better, because I really, really want to see this franchise with a franchise QB. We deserve one.
I'm so excited about next Saturday, because he'll be playing, and like I said, for whatever happens this year, it is what it is. But for right now, we have a quarterback to be excited about, and
Boomy does for
really
one more year.
Yeah, there's been no news that's been bad so far. Just some sad news. The Cubs, they are 52 and 58.
Do we have to,
13 and a half games out of first place. We won't get too much into it. Wilson Contreras, you got to give that guy so much credit. He's still playing so hard. He's out there playing the game like he always has. Hendricks pitched well. For right now, you watch the Iowa Cubs, see what kind of happens with them. You kind of check that out. And the Cubs, you get guys. It was Martinez. Got his first save and stuff like that. That's going to be happening this season. Have some fun with that.
I want to point out one more little bit of hope that I found that I thought both of you guys might find interesting as depressed Cub fans like myself. Is there was a new article on ESPN.com. I think it was Kylie McDaniels came out with his mid-season top 50 prospects after trades, after half season of play, after graduation from rookies, things like that. And came up with his mid-season top 50 and released it on ESPN. Cubs have Brennan Davis now appearing in there in the top 25. So we got an outfielder who played great in the futures game, had a great first half of the season. Toolsy kid, big power, kind of raw, may strike out a little bit, but good athlete, good can steal some bases, good defensively, it sounds like too. So it's not all doom and gloom. Maybe we have a one big piece, hopefully not too far away.
Yeah, I love that. And he won the MVP, right?
He did not. I don't. He might have. I don't want to say he
won
didn't,
the
but I know he hit a
Futures
bomb
Game
in the
MVP,
Futures game.
Yeah.
I love that. The White Sox kind of in cruise control as they have
that division's done, dude.
They have like a 10-game lead in the division. Just got to get people healthy, get the bullpen in order, and you just really and truthfully, you just play out the rest of the season and
stay healthy.
You get ready. Yeah, get ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, White Sox Dave made a good point on Redline Radio this week, and he said, in a 7-game series, there's no one that that you would be afraid of if you were the White Sox.
Yeah, and that's a position you love to be in.
Yeah, you let the chips fall where they may, and you'd like to think that more often than not, you walk away with a series win, and you let the playoffs happen, and it is what it is, and see where it falls. So. Like you said, I think you even mentioned this. You get Anderson, get him hitting, get Abreu hitting, and then you're in a good spot. So
get Robert back, and
yeah,
if you're a White Sox fan, soak this all up because it can go so quickly. Have fun with the rest of the season.
Definitely.
That's the truth.
Boomy, do you have a wacky web story for us?
I sure do, guys. How much of the Olympics have you guys been watching? Have you watched any equestrian?
No.
I know I named it as one of my bottom sports, but Matt, have you watched any of it?
That's with the horses, right?
Yep. No.
I don't understand it.
It's Zach, you make a great point. I don't understand it either. It's like an obstacle course for horses.
Do equestrian people understand it?
Matt, I wish I had answers.
Don't the horses dance?
I think that's a little different than just equestrian. I think that's like the intro to the equestrian where they run like an obstacle course.
Okay.
I don't really know. But however, the equestrians, outside of one of their jumps, obviously the Olympics is in Japan. And, they have like the 3 bars where the horses have to jump over. Well, right to the right of one of the equestrian obstacles where they have to jump over, for some reason, the Japanese Olympic Committee decided that it would be a good idea to put a good-sized sumo wrestler statue next to the obstacle, and obviously it's to pay homage to the great sumo wrestling that happens in Japan. But apparently it is scaring the hell out of some of these horses as they approach the jump. And actually they said like 10 of the participants, their horses just pulled up shy of the jump and could not complete it because it looks like a realistic human, like a human sumo wrestler. That's standing hilarious. Right there, scared the hell out of the horses. And unfortunately for like 10 of the 34 riders, they did not complete the jump because it's also facing the wrong way. So if you know what a sumo wrestler wears and he's turned not facing you, but facing the other way, imagine the shot that you're getting as you're on your horse heading towards a jumping obstacle. Yes, that's right. A giant sumo ass right to your left as you go to jump over.
I like it.
The obstacle.
Like Yokozuna.
Yeah. Or Rafiki. Is that what that guy's name was?
I think he was
the wrestler.
One of the Samoans.
Rikishi.
Yeah.
The guy that put his butt in people's face.
Yep. So, I think Yokozuna was better though. He was a true sumo.
I'm not going to argue with you, Matt, but Rikishi putting his big butt in people's faces was pretty hilarious. And you see a giant sumo butt coming at you. If you're a horse, you might slam on those brakes. So
the OG was Yokozuna.
Let's
do it.
That's a tough one.
I would love to go to a sumo match. Let's not kid ourselves.
Oh,
that would be dynamite.
Hey, but it got people watching. It got people watching for sure.
I would feel like the skinniest guy on the fucking planet.
Next summer, I think
so good about myself.
Need to go to the United States Sumo Championships.
Let's do it.
I'm down. I am down. Thank you for that great Boomys Wacky Web Story. Boomy, when you're listening to this, me and Boomy will be going to a little thing called the Quarterback Club outing. Boomy thinks he's gonna win.
Oh, we're
Maybe
gonna
he's
kill
right.
Max.
Maybe he's not right. We're gonna have some fun, is what we're gonna have, Boomy.
It's all that matters.
We're gonna drink some beer. We're gonna have some fun. It's gonna be a beautiful day, and we'll be thinking of you, Maddie, the whole time.
Yeah, we might
Sounds
FaceTime,
good.
Matt. So keep your phone
I
on.
really appreciate the support, guys. I do.
Yeah, and if you wanna send us pictures of some of the stuff you're doing and picking out stuff for your
You
bathroom.
want flooring samples?
Oh yeah,
I got them. I got them
Absolutely, I
coming
do.
in hot. I got them coming. Like I said, I still need our listeners have not come through for me whatsoever in terms of decorative ideas or any kind of advice. So anyone, please hit me up.
please hit up Maddie
Yeah, Matt
at
needs some help
schools
him out, folks.
at schools _01 on
Zero
Twitter.
one underscore 01.
Hey, Zach, funny
really
story.
emphasize this.
I found a box of TCF shirts. So if anybody reaches out to Matt and he uses your advice, I'll send you a TCF shirt.
There you go.
I'll double it. You get 2 of them.
There you go.
Who doesn't want to back up?
There you go.
Because you're going to spill mustard on it this weekend when you're eating hot dogs.
That's right. You just swap it right in. Just leave it in the golf bag.
Also, thanks to Boomy at Boomy TCF on Twitter. I'm Zach Lilia at Z Lilia TCF. Main page at typical _ Chicago. Instagram, Facebook. Typical Chicago fans. You will find us on there. Go over to the YouTube. Well, you go to youtube.com and go to Typical Chicago fans. And you will just subscribe to the YouTube page, morning shows, podcasts, interviews, all on there. And wherever you get your podcast from, please type in Typical Chicago fans. You will find us on there. If it's Apple, please subscribe, rate, and review. Shout out to 26shirts.com. Chicago. Use the promo code Typical Chicago fans at checkout for a shirt just like the one Boomy has on, the one I have on right here, QB1, Justin Fields. If you want shirts just like those, go to 26shirts.com, Chicago. Use the promo code Typical Chicago fans at checkout for 15% off of your purchase at 26shirts.com. Chicago. Also, shout out to Connect Roasters. Go to connectroasters.com for all your merch. All your favorite coffee is on there, connectroasters.com. Follow them on all social medias. Anything else, boys?
Hey, let's have a beautiful weekend.
Hey, Boomy, shut up. I've seen you put up the number 2 each time I said that. Shut up. Maddie, you got anything to say?
Yeah. How about that sports book going next to Wrigley? That's pretty sweet, huh?
That is pretty cool.
Very cool. But this has been the TCF Morning Show, Friday, August 6th. We love you all.
Peace.
Shut up, Boomy.